Welcome to the Blue Atlas Trade Show Marketing Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Trade Show Marketing Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about effective pre-show marketing strategies for maximum lead generation. We're going to cover 3 topics today, and I'll give you a few action items when we're done. So let's jump right into it. First thing, for the pre-show marketing, what are we talking about? Really what we're talking about is building anticipation before the show. Before the show even happens is when that marketing needs to start. Therefore, you should be announcing your presence before we ever get to the show. Before people are thinking about their happy hours and all the events and the speakers and the tracks and everything that they're going to be doing, they need to have an idea of what they're going to do. Most attendees, a lot of attendees will go and just go to the show. But a lot of attendees do go with a purpose, especially when you're talking about B2B trade shows. They go with a purpose and who they're going to find, and they kind of map out what their plan is as an attendee. Obviously, they're mapping out the sessions they're going to, the speakers they want to see, but also when it comes to who they should see at the expo booths, often they're mapping those out as well. So you need to be announcing your presence long before the show happens. You can utilize email campaigns to do that, social media teasers. We recommend our clients, and we'll talk a little bit about this with some of the action items, really scrub that attendee list if you can get access to it, or if it's a show you go to multiple times a year, or over and over from year to year. We recommend scrubbing that list so you already know who's probably going to be there. Do some mailers to them, and that'll get into some of those pre-show offers we'll talk about in just a second. Another thing to do about building that anticipation before the show is do some exclusive previews, like showcasing some of your new products and services that you'll be showcasing at the trade show. This really applies for people that are going to trade shows maybe for technology or new products, those type of things. If it's, say, an industry-specific trade show where you're really more offering services, this may not necessarily apply, but if there's something that you can roll out for this particular trade show audience, you might want to start trying to build some anticipation, a little bit of preview beforehand so that the audience has a reason to come attend. As you send out social media teasers, as you do those email blasts, and you're telling people why they should come see you. Hey, we're going to be at so-and-so show. Come see us. Come visit our booth. Why is really the question. There's lots of booths. There's only so much time in the day. They need a reason to come see you. So if you can't do maybe a pre-show offer of some type, maybe you can do a preview of what they can see when they come to the show. Like, hey, if you come to the show, you'll get to see our newest X product. You'll get to see what we're rolling out with this service. So consider doing exclusive previews beforehand. Next, let's talk about targeted outreach. And this is where you really start refining who you're marketing to. If you identify and then can reach out to those key prospects pre-show, you're really building the right awareness and maximizing your budget and your ROI on it. Instead of just blasting every single attendee, we recommend bringing the targeted list down. Or say if you can buy a pre-show list, a lot of shows will offer you a pre-show attendee list. Get that list and start scrubbing it down. So, okay, well, these job roles are not a good fit for us. These particular, say, companies are not a fit for us. These are already our clients. People that you need to narrow it down to, these are our target prospects. By scrubbing all that down, then you get to maximize what you do spend with pre-show marketing, especially if you start talking about mailers and things that have a hard cost to them. You could start narrowing that down to where it's the most effective as possible. Now, I do recommend utilizing some digital tools to couple with any of those things that you're doing. So if you are going to send mailers or any type of thing that has a cost to it, go ahead and use your digital tools as well, like targeted ads. If you have a list of, say, 1,000 prospective attendees, use targeted ads within social channels, within search engines, etc., so that you can reinforce your pre-show message that you're putting together. Those exclusive previews, run ads for it. And you can do the right targeting to make sure they're pretty inexpensive, but also effective because they're reinforcing a message you're already creating with your other channels. SEO is another channel that could be a possible fit for you, especially if you're planning well before the show. If you're looking 30 days out, SEO probably won't be the right fit for you, but there are some ways that you can SEO, especially let's say you are talking about a new product that you're not going to have a lot of competition for if someone is doing a search for that. You may want to position some messaging on your site, press releases, those type of things so that people will find more about your preview and your product as they do go to search engines. And next is content marketing. If you're doing some of those exclusive previews, make sure you're building media and things to help increase the hype and increase why somebody wants to come see you. But all of this is tying back into your target outreach. When you've narrowed down your target prospect list to the attendees that are going to be there, previous year's attendees, if you don't have, say, a pre-show list, or if it's, this is an industry conference, you can market to everyone with that industry. Get an industry list if you don't already have one. Start scrubbing it. Once again, just like they were attendees, scrub it for current clients, people that just aren't necessarily a good fit. Narrow it down to the right target outreach, right prospect list. Now, when working with this, let's go to our third point of an effective pre-show marketing strategy, creating a buzz with pre-show offers. Now, this is going to look different based on your type of business, the type of show, and the type of attendee. First, special promotions or giveaways that can be exclusive to show attendees are amazing. The things that if you come see us at the booth, we'll give you so-and-so. Anything that you can do a special promotion that maybe only happens at the trade show or at your booth, give somebody an incentive to come see you at your booth. Early access to either discounts or complete early access to purchase for services or products. Let's say you've got something that's in hot demand and you're only going to have so many. Well, maybe the first run, only people that come by the booth are able to purchase. If it's a certain service, then maybe you're offering a big discount. Maybe you're waiving a setup fee. Maybe you're offering a month free. Some type of large discount to people that come to your booth. You've got to incorporate that type of discount and things into kind of your marketing cost. I recommend you do at least, but incorporate that into your marketing cost because it does eat away, into your revenue and everything. But these are ways that you can entice people to come to your booth. So let's go back through this again. Point 1, building anticipation before the show. Announce your presence, announce you're going to be at the booth. Let people know that you're going to be there. If they're an attendee and they have some interest in your business with your product or service, you're going to be at the booth. They get to come see you face to face and talk through it with you. If they have no idea why they'd want to see you, but they're attending, that's where your exclusive previews and that content that we talked about earlier can help guide them and give them an incentive to come see you. Next, make sure you're doing targeted outreach. Get pre-show list or any type of way that you can refine who is attending or maybe should be attending. Refine that and target all of your outreach. Utilize your digital channels like pay-per-click ads, SEO, social media, content marketing, etc. And then finish that up with creating a buzz with pre-show offers. Some type of special promotion or giveaway that you're going to offer only to people that have come in and actually saw you at your booth. They have to come to your booth to get that special offer. And you can take this different ways. We've had some clients that will say, well, I'll just offer, a promo discount or just use the show as a reason to run a special that, hey, because we're at the show, we're offering this special. And you can kind of keep that going. Once again, that's really going to it's really going to matter which show you're at and the type of attendees, and it's going to kind of dictate what the right message is. And one of the things that's not really in this point that I do want to make sure that you reiterate is, I know it's really hard, especially for B2B companies, to consider a discount, a special offer. It's like, well, that just sounds gimmicky. We don't sell that way. There are ways to model a special consultation, a special discount, like say, such as waiving a setup fee or things like that. There are ways to offer discounts and show specials and show exclusives. You just have to get a little creative. And there's nothing wrong with the saying of saying, because we're going to be at the show, we are offering this special promotion. Even though it might be, a complicated sales process, a complicated pitch, that's okay. There still can be something that you offer through that show. Maybe it's a special, on-site consultation that you don't normally do or you normally charge a fee for. Take something that's in your regular offering, splinter that off that you can offer as a promotion, and then we don't have to come up with a special gimmick of, we're giving away $50 Starbucks cards if you come by our booth. That might be effective. That might work. In fact, I'll give you an example of a pre-show process that we have seen work, has worked quite a bit. One of our clients attended HR shows. So these are HR executives, HR managers, basically people that are really hard to get to that do not network in normal settings, normal networking opportunities. So business development people that are targeting HR professionals, they kind of have to go to these shows. Well, we had pre-show lists. We narrowed down that pre-show list to only the companies that were really our best prospects. So we narrowed down several thousand people to about 250 people. Then we sent a mailer to them that said, hey, if you come by our booth, we've got a special gift for you. Now, I mentioned the Starbucks gift cards because that was part of the special gift. We got HR people, they probably like coffee. Starbucks seemed to work well. So we got people to come get their free Starbucks gift card. And we also offered a kind of exclusive promotional item that was worth coming to get if you came and actually set a meeting with us. So if we just have a follow-up conversation, take away a nice little, it was like a Padfolio 1 year, some other nice promo items that had more value to it, which is, I think, one of the reasons why people go to trade shows is to get those promo items. They want the good ones. Well, that's how they got it, was to set a meeting with us. And then we did all of that with a mailer beforehand. And then when they came to see us, we already knew who was coming to see us and what they were asking for. When they came by and said, hey, can I get my thing? They were already on our targeted list because we had created that targeted outreach with the pre-show offer, doing it all before the show. So, all right, here's your action items to take away. First thing is, develop a pre-show marketing plan with timeline and goals. What are you trying to achieve? Now, obviously, this whole thing with pre-show that we've been talking about is getting people to your booth. If you're going to spend the money to be at a trade show, you want people to come by your booth. But develop that a little bit further. Develop an actual marketing plan with a bit of a timeline of what you're going to send, what the message is before you send it, what the goal is with those, and how all of your things, all of the different elements we talked about today are going to work together. Put that into a plan, because what will happen is, hey, we're going to a show in 6 months, and then tomorrow we're going to a show will happen. It literally happens that fast. So if you don't have a plan with a timeline in place, you'll miss all of your opportunity to pre-show plan and pre-show market. All right, next is create the exclusive offer to incentivize booth visits. Talk to your sales team. What gets people interested when they're talking to somebody new? What is kind of something that gave them a little bit of a nudge? Think back to your last shows. When people were walking around, what were the questions they asked? What is something that you can offer to get them interested? What's going to get somebody to come by your booth? This may be effective to talk about all of your trade show staff in the past. Talk with them and say, when you were talking to somebody, say at a happy hour, and say, come by my booth, what kind of got them interested? Why did they want to come by your booth? We all want to think it's because of our product or service, which it is. I mean, often, especially in B2B situations, they're coming because, hey, you got a product that might help me. But there still needs to be a little bit of incentive. They're busy. There's lots of speakers. There's lots of happy hours. There's lots of food to be had. Coming by your booth spends a lot of that hot time they could be using somewhere else. So there was something that got them to come by the booth. So talk with your team and develop what a good incentive would be to get booth visits. And finally, go ahead and identify and segment your target audience so that you can do this personalized pre-show outreach. Either go ahead and reach out to the show, see if there's a pre-show list and get that pre-show attendee list, or look at what you got from last year. It might be a shorter list because that's probably just like the business cards you collected, and that doesn't account for the thousands of attendees that may have been at that show, but at least start there. And then maybe you start spanning that out and you're looking for maybe additional lists that match the type of people that were the best fit from those business cards. But go ahead and start segmenting that list. Don't wait to the show to try to figure out who you're going to market to. You're doing the show. The whole point of the show is so that you have the venue to get there, but marketing starts long before you get there. So thanks for joining us today as we talked about effective pre-show marketing strategies for really maximizing your lead generation and your booth traffic. I'm Nate Stockard, and this is the Trade Show Marketing Podcast.